The village of San Carlos sits on the coast of the Sea of Cortez, about 5 hours south of Tucson, Arizona. And although it's a pretty good drive south of the border, it's easy to forget this is Mexico. Most signs are in English, and many residents here could go by the term gringos. That's because this is one of many retirement communities springing up in Mexico. More than 6,000 Americans and Canadians live in San Carlos alone, and it's not just because of the sun and sand. Bob and Becky Burr first came here 12 years ago on vacation.
I was a little bit fearful at first because you don't just go to Mexico. But when we got here, we found we loved it. And after spending a couple of winters here, we decided to move here full time. We love the warmth. We love the ocean. We love the beauty of the mountains. It's just like God is all around you everywhere you look. But really, it's the people, too, and the culture and the slower lifestyle. More relaxation, no cold.
In addition to the friendships and slower pace, the move made sense for economic reasons.
You can have a much, much nicer home for much less money. When it comes to pay taxes on it, the taxes by American standards are nil.
Retirees also pay attention to quality medical care.
We have very, very good doctors here, right here in San Carlos. If you saw it, you wouldn't have any qualms about going to the doctor or going to the hospital here. And likewise, again, it's a whole lot cheaper to have your medical and your dental work done down here than it is to do the same thing in the States.
Due to the current economy, a lower cost of living is more enticing than ever. You can see that in the numbers. Some estimates put the number of Americans who have moved abroad as high as 3 million, and that doesn't count those who are considering a move. One big draw is possible tax savings. Americans living overseas may qualify for a foreign earned income credit, which means up to $91,000 a year in earnings could be tax exempt. The largest destination for Americans outside of the United States? Mexico. As many as 2 million now make their homes south of the border. And most say they feel safe despite the recent drug violence.
I feel safer here than I did in Council Grove, Kansas, a town of 2,000 people. All these drug wars you read about, there's no doubt maybe at the border there's some killings, but every major city in the States has got killings.
There's one other thing Americans say they find when they move overseas. That's a little thing in America we used to call freedom.
Nanny states coddling us every step of the way. Government agencies taxing everything that moves. It's just a breath of fresh air to get away from all that.
In a recent ranking by the World Freedom Project, U.S. taxes and regulations dropped the United States to 8th among the freest countries in the world.
There's a saying here, some people call this paradise and the smart ones call it home.
With the drug wars and the global recession still in the news every day, real estate here in San Carlos is definitely a buyer's market. But the sellers are hoping that as more people get ready to retire, all it will take is a few intrepid investors to turn that around. If you might be one of them, visit Seaside Realty on Main Street next to the subway or online at seaside-realty.net.